What's going on, everybody? It's your man with the plan, Shayman20, and on today's video, we're going to be talking about some of the other upgrades and mods that are coming for the truck. So if you guys didn't already know, I own a 2014 Chevy Silverado. It's got the Z71 off-road package. It's nothing special. And for those that don't already know, I've installed a couple of upgrades already. I've installed an Elite Engineering catch can, and I've installed a Corsa Sport Catback exhaust system. And the reason for installing the catch can on this truck was simply because of the issues that are plagued with gasoline direct injected engines, which, if you guys didn't know, I have the 5.3 liter L83 Ecotec 3 V8 engine that is gasoline direct injected. And if you're not fully aware of what gasoline direct injection is, you're more than welcome to check out YouTube. There's several videos on the subject, as well as these particular engines in general. So if you like a little bit of education, feel free to go check those out. Also, on top of that, one major problem that they have, gasoline direct injection engines that is that they tend to have really bad carbon buildup. And the reason why is because there's no longer any fuel entering the plenum, the intake at all, nothing going in the runners, nothing. So the big issue with gasoline direct injected engines is that buildup tends to get around, in and around the intake port and on the valves, and tends to stick after so long if you don't put things like a catch can on your engine. So even though it was like 60,000 miles too late, I figured it was better late than never to go on ahead and install a catch can on this truck, just so if there were any problems that would develop, this would take care of them a little bit more long term, so to speak. And of course, the reason behind getting the Catback exhaust system was just so, you know, I could enjoy the truck a little bit more, and just so I could hear it more. And there's actually a backstory that goes with the reason I got the Catback exhaust. The reason I got a Catback exhaust system is because one night when I was walking out of work, I couldn't hear my truck at all. I couldn't hear it over any other vehicles. It wasn't until I got into the truck, turned it on, and actually realized that it was started and running. Because I thought at the time it never started and that the battery was dead. That's what I was truthfully afraid of, but I realized that wasn't the case. It was just so quiet. So that's my reasoning for getting the Catback exhaust system. While it sounds kind of silly, it's definitely a nice peace of mind to know that it's running, and it gives this truck the attitude it really needed. So what other upgrades are we planning for this truck? The next upgrade should seem pretty obvious, but it's still probably a few weeks away from happening. My next plan, because this is a daily driven truck and I have to keep mods in the daily driven realm, the next mod for this is obviously going to be a cold air intake. And there are a couple of options that I'm still trying to research more and more with each passing day. The first system that I've been researching is a system by AFE, and for the 5.3 liter V8, and I think it goes across the entire, even the 6.2s and the 6 liters, they promise 12 additional horsepower and 15 additional pound-feet of torque, which in hindsight doesn't sound like a whole lot, but once you get a tune on it, it's going to do you a world of good. The second system that I've been looking at is actually a system by GM Performance. And I actually saw this on one of the 5th gen GM truck groups. It looked really nice, it looked really clean, and the best part was when I saw that it was actually a product from GM Performance, I had to stop and take a look. I actually did my research and went to try and find it. There's actually no numbers, no figures that they give for this intake, but the best part is that this intake doesn't void your warranty from GM, and you get a cold air intake for your truck. How good is that? So those are the two options that I've been kind of considering. If you guys have any other suggestions on good cold air intakes, keep in mind I am looking at dry filter applications only. I do not want to go oiled because I'm afraid it'll do damage to the mass airflow sensor, and that's something I don't want to go into the dealer and explain to them. On top of that, that's also going to be another expense that I'll have to deal with later on. So no oil filters, just dry filters. Also, one other upgrade that I'm working on right now is upgrading my catch can lines to stainless steel braided lines, as well as getting the additional AN style fittings for this truck. Now, what's the reason behind upgrading to these stainless steel lines and these new fittings? Most of it is for an aesthetic point, and the other of it is for function. When I started my truck the other day, I heard this rather odd hissing noise coming from under the hood of the truck. And so I popped the hood, I checked it out. I actually found that the hissing was coming from these lines, and I've never heard this kind of thing happen before, and I've never really seen anybody say anything before on the groups or the forums. So if this is kind of a normal thing, could anybody like shed some light on that subject? That would be really appreciated. But anyways, the reason for looking into these stainless steel lines is because I was checking the rubber lines that came with the catch can, and they seemed like they were kind of folding in a little bit, like maybe there was a little bit too much pressure from suction or something of that nature. I wasn't entirely sure what the reason was for them folding down, but it kind of sparked some concern, so I thought maybe it might be best to look into upgrading. But before we add the stainless steel lines, we are definitely going to do a video on the catch can to see how much oil it has caught within the first 1,000 or so miles. I'm actually really curious to see how much it's caught. And I've seen some different pictures and videos of people's catch cans and what they've caught after a few days or a few weeks. It's really quite impressive how much it catches, and it's also kind of really scary in some ways. So as much as I wanted to do one at 3,000 miles, we're going to be doing one at 1,000 miles because I'm getting a little bit concerned that maybe, just maybe, it's already full. I doubt it, but it's probably a good reassurance just to make sure that everything is good to go. So with all that said, guys, those are the upgrades that I really have planned for this truck. I don't have much anything else that I've been looking at right now. I've just been doing my research on a couple other things. Most of these would be upgrades after the powertrain warranty is ended. There are some big time things that I would like to do with this truck, but most of it is going to have to wait until I can have a second vehicle to drive to and from work, and this can be sat away for a little bit. Oh, and I almost forgot. This Friday, April 14th, since I have nothing else better to do, I plan on being up in Indianapolis all day and all night. And I do plan on checking out the local Indy scene. I haven't done that in an extremely long time, so hopefully it'll be a really good turnout. Hopefully we'll see some awesome cars. We might have to make our way through Mexico. Sometimes that's just how it works. It's a really strange detour going on right now where you just absolutely have to go through Mexico. It is what it is. So hopefully there will be a really good turnout, and the video content that we grab from that Friday will be awesome for you guys to check out. So that pretty much wraps up today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, if this is your first time stopping into the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget about that little notification bell next to the subscribe button. Hit that so you're always notified of when I post new videos, because no one likes being left out in the dark. I don't like being left out in the dark, okay? So with all that said, guys, hopefully you have a fantastic day. Take care. Have a great day.